After the last snap, when the game ends, life begins by Andre Williams. Chapter 3, Moving South. Just before I was meant to start ninth grade, my family and I moved to Georgia. It was a period filled with unexpected and perplexing turns. When I talk about my family, it was just my mother, my younger brother, and me. My older brother was already 21 at the time, off chasing his own dreams. My sister had just left for Cornell. My father, however, stayed behind in New Jersey to tend to his business. Growing up, we often take for granted that our parents know best, or we overlook the possibility that they too can make mistakes. In hindsight, moving to Georgia stands out as one of my parents' biggest missteps. It set in motion a chain of events that eventually led to the unraveling of their marriage. The exact reasons for my mother's sudden decision to leave New Jersey are still a mystery to me. Perhaps it was her friend Jean, who had recently moved to Georgia, who enticed her. I struggled to understand why she was comfortable being separated from my dad, or why she was in such a hurry to relocate. It might have been one of her flaws, to act first and think later, leaving my dad to deal with the fallout of her decisions. Regardless of their reasons, she was ready to move, and he was not. My father had built up his HVAC business over a decade in New Jersey. He couldn't just uproot and leave while expecting to maintain his financial stability. Still, I can't fathom why he didn't assert himself and fight to keep the family together until a solid plan was in place. But success sometimes clouds judgment, and I think his booming business fed his ego. He made the decision to buy a house in Georgia simply because he could afford it, a $500,000 home in an upscale neighborhood. So he sold our house in New Jersey and bought a new one in Acworth, Georgia. He would come down every couple of months for the weekend and then head back to work. It was an incredibly strange time in my life. I had just turned 13 that summer, and the throes of teenage angst hit me hard. I found myself alone in a foreign land, trying to stay connected with my best friends through World of Warcraft. Being a dedicated gamer, I had my moments of fun, but my subpar computer created unbearable lag, ruining the excitement and keeping me from engaging in high-level content. Frustrated, I would retreat to my closet, gaze out the window, and eagerly await the start of school. My room, situated on the second floor above the garage, overlooked our unfinished cul-de-sac. 2006, what a year it was. When school finally started, I quickly realized I was in a new world. For starters, Sperry's had replaced the Air Force Ones as the go-to footwear, though I never owned a pair of either. The Southern Belles and the Gallant Boys of Georgia were a stark contrast to the boisterous, quick-witted kids from the Northeast. Good manners genuinely impressed the ladies, and anything less could spell disaster. On my first day of ninth grade, during geography class, I found myself sitting across from a stunning brunette named Shelby Gazzetta. She had bright eyes and a beautiful smile. I was intrigued, and I made it my mission to talk to her. When the teacher gave us group work, I seized the opportunity. I would look up at her, furrow my brows, and tilt my head, pretending to notice something on her face. Eventually, she caught on and she asked me what I was looking at. With a mischievous grin, I replied, "Shelby, is that a chin hair?" To my shock, she gasped and burst into tears. It was not the reaction I had anticipated. Her friend glared at me and demanded to know why I would say such a thing. Mortified, I quickly apologized, assuring Shelby that it was just a joke and she absolutely did not have any chin hair. Unfortunately, my ill-conceived attempt at humor had completely ruined my chances with her. That interaction struck me deep, and I realized I would need to recalibrate my social skills if I wanted to survive here. Things were different down south, but one constant remained: football. That stayed the same whether I was in the north or south, and I knew exactly how to thrive and excel in that environment. Having talent in football in a place like Georgia was a tremendous blessing. There was a level of prestige surrounding the sport. The football program at Harrison High was exceptional, partly because football was not just an after-school activity. It was a way of life. It was almost like a combination of church and college. Sports and academics were completely intertwined, and if you were a football player, your schedule was entirely different from that of an average student. For instance, every football player had to take the high-level lifting class, which was exclusively for football players and taught by the O-line coach. Despite feeling alone in a new place, I felt right at home on the football field. I quickly fit in and began to establish myself. Ultimately, I had a fantastic freshman football season, and despite proving too uncouth for Shelby, all felt right in the world.